employers cannot find enough qualified workers to do the jobs that they require, right? So it's a growing skills gap, and what employers want and what employees offer is way off. There's a big disconnect, but there's a big opportunity for you to take advantage of that, okay? So this is from an article on Forbes.com by Caroline Sanina Levine. The growing skills gap requires continual training and retraining, right? So basically, whatever skills you have today, whatever you were trained as, those skills are eventually going to become obsolete. So by this article, there's an estimate that the current skills you have now will pretty much not be useful 4 years from now, right? So you got to keep updating your skills, keep learning what's going on in your industry, and move forward. So there was a survey by human resource leaders. It shows that 64% of human resource leaders see a skills gap in their company, and this is the second year of this survey, right? So last year, that number was only 52%. So 52% of companies saw a skills gap. Now this year it's 64%, so it's growing for sure. And so there's various things that companies are doing to get qualified candidates and try to find those skills they need. Number one is expanding the candidate pool. So bigger candidate pool. So this is how companies are solving for the skills gap. They're looking in places they never thought to look at before. So basically over 60% of the respondents have hired people that were considered to be retired or unemployed, okay? And 90% say that they would hire a candidate that doesn't have a 4-year college degree. So in years past, those people were pretty much off the table, right? And we know that even more people who were in prison who have come back into the workforce are entering into the workforce as well. So there's various new sources of workers that were off the table in years past. So number two is using AI, so artificial intelligence. So rather than retraining workers, they're looking towards automation or robotics to kind of alleviate that problem they're having. But like we see with AI, typically whenever you implement new machinery or automation, you need humans to go along with it. So it's not exactly a straight up replacement. But 40% of respondents have preferred to invest in AI rather than upskilling the workforce, okay? And number three is hiring gig workers, right? So gig workers, let's put it over here. Gig workers, if you don't know that term, in the gig economy they say today, basically this is hiring temporary or freelance people over full-time employees. So that's 47% of employers are looking towards temporary or gig workers to fill their skills gap need. Now that could probably be a short-term fix, right? But eventually, like I said, we all need to have that retraining. And if you are currently employed, you need to take it upon yourself to do these things. Keep in mind, a lot of companies will invest in your retraining, but not all of them, okay? And studies are showing that 48% spend about $500 a year on continuing education for each employee. Only 48% spend more than $500. So that's not a whole lot, right? So maybe you're getting some training, but there's probably more that you should go out and seek on your own, and the internet and YouTube are amazing resources, I'll tell you that, okay? So pay attention basically to what your company is hiring for and which departments in your company are getting the most attention, and then see if you can work in those areas. That kind of gives you a clue, and like seek out that training however you can, okay? That gives you a good clue of where the attention is going to, where you should update your skills, okay? And if you're unemployed, you want to retarget your job search to a growing area, obviously, right? So technology skills are highly in demand today, but there's other hard skills that are in the non-tech areas of people management, sales leadership, translation are among the top 10 skills. So you want to look to retarget your skill set to a growing area like that. And basically, like we said, employers are hiring from the unemployed, okay, and retired ranks. So it's a myth that you can't get back into the workforce or that you can't break in to a new area of the workforce. So keep that in mind, all right? So basically, a problem for employers is definitely an opportunity for your career, all right? That's basically the summary of this article. Whether you're employed, unemployed, or self-employed, there's always ways to make that skills gap work in your favor. Just pay attention to what the companies need. So they're all trying to close that skills gap. And so this is really a good practice for you to follow over time. Companies are hiring people, bottom line, who can solve their problems, right? So the best job security for you is try to be a problem solver no matter what you do, no matter what that job requires, okay? So that's going to do it for that section. I hope that was helpful. I'll also post a link to that article below.